This is the Speak For Yourself podcast featuring the best of Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock. I'm your host, Jason McIntyre. It's Taco Tuesday, folks. Really fun day on the show. My Warriors, yes, that's right, my Warriors are back in the finals, and we get LeBron on TV tonight. Here we go. Cowherd uses the analogy of a traffic app versus driving on the 405 to justify Kevin Durant's choice to join the Golden State Warriors. Whitlock explains why LeBron totally walks to the beat of his own drum and why he won't be motivated by J.R. Smith's comments. I tell you what, to look deep inside the Instagram account of Odell Beckham Jr. The guy had a fun summer. Can he show up at OTAs? I mean, seriously, me and Willie McGinnis kind of on the same page here. Really interesting topic. NBA veteran Jim Jackson explains Kevin Durant made the best choice for himself. However, Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard argues Durant needs to win a championship. Plus, Colin Kaepernick versus Tim Tebow mania. Which one was bigger? Fun discussion, folks. Ready for Speak For Yourself? Cowherd and Whitlock, take it away.
Welcome to the show. We'll tell you why LeBron won't bounce back tonight.
And why Kevin Durant clearly made the right decision last summer. One of those two arguments is right. Speak For Yourself starts now.
He ain't bouncing back. He doesn't bounce back.
He's going to have 12, 4, and 4 tonight?
No, I'm not saying that. I'll explain here in a second. Hello and welcome. We're joined today by Fox NBA analyst Chris Broussard and Jim Jackson. We got the basketball A-team here. All right, let's start in San Antonio, where the Warriors became the first team ever to start the playoffs 12-0, sweeping the Spurs with yet another blowout win last night. Despite their dominance, the Warriors appear to be taking a humble approach to this year's historic playoff run.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we appreciate this opportunity. Playing in this league, you can't take anything for granted. 30 teams suit up every year, trying to get to this point, and only 2 teams do. And so you have to appreciate it.
I'm just proud of the work we put in from the beginning of the season. We just kept grinding. We didn't talk about championships or anything. We just wanted to build good habits and have fun playing some basketball, man. Simple as that.
Colin, Durant couldn't make it out of the conference finals, couldn't get past the Warriors last year. Does this, making it to the finals, justify his decision?
Completely. If you get a divorce and you're like, baby, I'm leaving because I want to be happier, and a year later, you're happier, you were right. When you leave a team and say, and the Warriors sold him on this, going to take fewer shots, same average, better shots, prolong your career. Check, 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 check. He has won in all of them. This is exactly what the Warriors told him it would be. Win more.
Easy path.
Oh, the easy path. Like you've never.
I don't take the easy way at any time, Colin. I don't respect people that take the easy route. I don't respect this move. Look, I'm happy that Kevin Durant's happy.
You just don't
honestly, personally, I just don't like it. I don't like these little two little dominant teams. I don't respect what he did here, running out on Russell Westbrook. And join some other team. Go to Washington. Why go to the Warriors? They already had the best record of all time and already won a championship. Good for Kevin Durant. I'm glad he's happy. He likes the easy route.
Look, this doesn't justify anything, all right? They got to the finals without you. You're a star. You're an all-time great. You're a difference maker. The only thing that's going to justify this move is if you win it, period. Because
they won without him, so why would that justify it?
They didn't win it last year without him. They have to win, and they have to, exactly. They win it this year. And I'll be honest, I won't rain on his parade if they win the championship, but he has to not only win the title, he has to play well. He has to play like a star. If you go there and win the title, average 15 points a game, 14 points a game, that's not going to be good enough. You have to go there and play like a star and win the championship. And to be honest, going in the future, they have to win multiple titles.
This is what I don't understand. Why people speak in first person when they talk about Kevin Durant. In regards to this is what I don't like. This is a grown man who made a decision best for his career. Everybody in here made a move that was best for their career.
Thank you.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. That chose to move on. And on the outside looking in, the previous place you were at well, why would you leave there? You got the world by whatever you want. But why would you leave? See, Kevin Durant, to me, one, he put his ego to the side and didn't even care about what everybody, Jason Whitlock, thought.
That's right.
Said, more importantly, I want to win a championship. Now, if he wins a championship, it's not going to be an asterisk there saying, well, he went with the best team. It's going to say he's an NBA championship. Charles Barkley chose to go to Houston to get one, and guess what?
He
didn't get it.
But
I don't care.
I agree with you, but he has to win it. Just getting there doesn't justify it.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. When Kevin Durant, if you look on the court, he's the second best player in the world, right? Is he still that? Is he still that?
Second or third?
I don't know.
Kawhi has nothing on Kevin Durant. He cannot score like Kevin Durant. He's not a threat like that.
Score, but he can defend much better.
I'll give him that.
It's not a 50-50.
He's not rebounding better.
Balance.
But my thing with Kevin Durant is everybody wants to say, if it were me. It's not. It's Kevin Durant wanted to do what was best for his career.
By the way,
win, lose, or draw, it was his decision.
Okay, so then, even if they had lost in the conference finals or the second round,
he was
to
comfortable
your logic,
being.
it would have been fine, right?
He was one thing. Obviously, he didn't want to be in OKC, and that's why he left. Period. Point blank. He didn't want to be there. That's why he left.
Okay, so but by that logic, just because he's happy. And he is happier in Golden State. No, win, lose, or draw, then that he made the right decision.
Exactly.
Okay.
For him.
For him, that's fine. But justifying it to the world of basketball, justifying it for his legacy, he has to win this title.
But winning a title is not guaranteed. I don't care what team you put together. It's not guaranteed you're going to win.
We all love Chris Rock. Man as loyal as his option.
That's right.
John Wall got the offer. John Wall goes. He got an offer he couldn't refuse. Golden State recruited him. He's like, yeah, a bunch of smart players, Silicon Valley, I can go, work less, prolong career, win titles. Who turns that?
There are players that would not have done that. There are players that I don't know that John Wall would have went to Golden State.
That's John Wall's fault.
But John Wall wouldn't have had that option.
By the way,
that's my point. Why would they want John Wall to go to Golden State?
I don't think every player would have gone there. A lot of players came out and spoke out against him.
Because a lot of players don't have the same option as Kevin Durant. That's what I'm saying. People are speaking in first person.
Not everybody chooses the easiest path.
Oh,
look,
I think.
History.
Why does everybody play the lottery? Well, everybody plays. The rich don't.
That's the dumbest path.
But it's still easy.
Well, it's the easy one.
Sports has competition built into it. It is different than other fields.
If sports has competition, why do all the best high school football players go to 6 colleges? Because they want to play with other great players. Ohio State recruits want to beat Purdue 49-0. They don't go to Purdue so they can lose to Ohio State. Our sports structure is based on
colleges. We're talking about two teams.
Well, college basketball. Kentucky's going to get 5 of the top 7 players. Are they going there because it's harder, or they can beat Vanderbilt?
No, but there are some people like a Patrick Ewing. I'm going to go to Georgetown and team up with John Thompson and build something great there. I'll even go to the Michigan Fab Five. Michigan didn't have some historic basketball tradition. They went to Michigan, teamed up together there. He took the easy path. Not only did he put his ego aside, he put his heart on the side too, and said, "I'm just doing what's best for my paycheck and whatever's easy."
By the way, you don't get the paycheck in OKC, so you can't say that.
I'm fine with him going there. I'm just saying a championship justifies it, not getting to the final.
You know what? But if he wins a championship, there's still going to be critics to say you didn't have any. It was still
not
the
if
team.
he balls.
Hey, by the way,
he's averaging 25 or so.
I do like Durant. He took the easy path.
By the way, you ever gone on your app and looked up ways to get home? Don't. Go on the 405. Be there for 4 hours.
Exactly what I do.
To Cleveland, where LeBron and the Cavs looked to bounce back after blowing a 21-point lead to the Celtics in Game 3. LeBron had his worst playoff game in years, overstated, but it wasn't great for him, 11 points. But he got some words of encouragement from teammate J.R. Smith ahead of tonight's game, which they'll win.
You got to be more aggressive, get downhill, play like he's been playing. People like him, you got to play confident the whole night and play aggressive. I mean, it's Eastern Conference Finals. It's not enough for him. For what he does, what he brings, it's not enough. He knows that. We know that. And just expecting him to be better on Game 4.
All right, Whitlock, monster game from LeBron tonight?
No, I don't expect that. And seriously, that's not a knock on LeBron. LeBron.
Sounds like
No,
it.
no, no, no. He's the best player on the planet. He's going to have 12
hear
points.
me out. Hear me out. LeBron walks to the beat of his own drum. He's not sitting around thinking, I got to go out and get 40 tonight. He ain't thinking about, I got to get 30 tonight. He's going to go out there and take care of business in an efficient fashion. He's going to get his teammates involved. When LeBron has a poor scoring game, his history isn't he comes back and scores 30, 40, 50 points. He's averaging about 21 points a game after a bad night. Again, LeBron is going to keep everything in perspective. The Game 4 was no big deal. He ain't even worried about that. He'll score Game 3. He'll come out and score 20, 25 points, take care of business, and win the game. But I'm not expecting him to put up 50.
You know, listen, LeBron, and I'm a LeBron fan. Okay, every great player's had a hole. Okay, Jabbar couldn't handle the ball. Steph isn't big physically. Larry Bird was a marginal defender.
Wilt couldn't shoot free throws. Yeah.
Wilt couldn't shoot free throws. Michael Jordan, never a great long-distance shooter. LeBron has these moments, and they are rare, where he goes passive, and he just does. And outside of that, he's a freight train in tennis shoes, man. Every year he works on something, now he can shoot threes. This is his one hole. Michael broke into this league, and he was ridiculously selfish, and he burned out coaches and players. He got less selfish, but he was never a great three shooter to the very end. That's why you remember Portland, because that was the day he did it well.
Right.
This is LeBron's hole. Everybody's got one. It's okay. It's okay.
Look, I expect him to bounce back. I don't think this was a Dallas moment or a Boston moment his last year in Cleveland. I think it was a bad game. I think he was, getting Kevin Love involved, getting Kyrie Irving involved, and never got into a rhythm. He did go passive, but unlike a Michael Jordan, if he's not hot or feeling it, he's not just going to keep putting the ball up. He's going to go to other teammates, and I think that's what he did. He'll have a very good game. I agree. I don't think 40 or 50 points.
Oh, no.
But I think a very good game where he's dominant.
But the difference with LeBron, though, as great as he is, unlike Michael, Kobe, they had go-to moves. You can put them in a situation either on the post or mid-post, and they can go to those moves. Yeah. With LeBron, he doesn't have that. And as a shooter, even though his three-point shooting is a lot better, look at his misses because he's strong. So what happens is when he's missing, they're long shots. They're not feathery touches. He doesn't have when he can get to the lane and shoot a floater because he's not a finesse player. Now, how that affects him is this. With that big body, you would say, well, LeBron, just get to the basket. Well, he has issues shooting free throws. So now when you don't have a go-to move, now you don't want to get to the basket because you're missing free throws, mentally that gets to you. So when you talk about the flaw in LeBron's game, it's not only the mental part, but not having that go-to signature move.
It's a really good point. It's a really...
Where you can get to, that hurts you all. And that's why LeBron is more susceptible to just doing this instead of going to it.
It really is a great point.
Sometimes you can have too many options. Seriously. And that's what I see. LeBron, everything's so plentiful. He can do everything on the menu. Right. He doesn't have a specialty. Kareem, he's going to drop that hook on you.
That's right.
Michael Jordan is going to
get to that post. He'll get to that post. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And so that's an excellent. That's
really do you see him having another bad game tonight?
Maybe not from a shooting perspective.
Start slow.
But here's the thing about LeBron that I've watched him since high school. He's going to average 50 points in high school. That never was his makeup. So you can't expect him to all of a sudden be somebody he's not. He's always been this guy that does this. And he's always been the guy that when he's not shooting well, he dials it back. Yeah. So for me, it's about getting out in transition, getting some easy baskets early, getting to the free throw line early, being confident with it. Then I believe that jump shot now becomes freer and his mind is let go and he can just play.
If he doesn't have a bounce back game and struggles with his confidence, they got problems. Then he's
not against Boston.
Not against Boston, but going forward. If he's worried about his confidence and stuff, and you see it tonight, then they're going to be in trouble against Golden State.
I really believe Game 3 is completely irrelevant. I think it's just a one-off.
At this point.
I think it was a one-off. I think things have been coming so easy to them, as Colin said yesterday. They won the first two games by 70 points. He's at home.
Lead by 21.
No, literally. Yeah. You win the first two games in Boston by 70 points, come home, wife and kids to engage with, and your mind kind of slips because it's so easy. It's a one-off. He'll be a totally different guy.
I think the difference is, too, though, because the level of competition was Boston, we look at that and say, if it was, say, a Golden State, not in the championship form, but if it was a team like that was more competitive and he didn't play well.
It could be different.
It could be different from the mindset of how we evaluate LeBron's game. But with Boston, it's like, it's Boston.
He'll come in tonight and simply overpower them and get his 20.
Watch him early on. He's going to be physical, and he's going to be getting the ball to the basket.
I liked your point about people like me that are so great that we all have a flaw. And so if I were 5 to 10 pounds lighter, I'd be illegal in most states.
Welcome back. Joined now by 3-time Super Bowl champ Willie McGinnis and the founder of the Big Lead, Jason McIntyre. We moved to Odell Beckham Jr. Always a lively topic. Last time we saw him, he was partying on a boat, dropping passes in a playoff game. And apparently that's also the last time the Giants saw him. Since OBJ didn't report for day 1 of OTAs yesterday. Now, the team does expect him to report Thursday. But, Jason, are you concerned that Odell missing the first day of OTAs off what we saw last year?
I think it's bad optics. You just had a horrible performance in a big playoff game. You were the center of controversy. You would think you just want to avoid any headlines. Come in, report the OTAs. Skip the second OTA, the third OTA, not the first one. This has created headlines and more conversation about you. I don't like the look.
I would be more bothered if Eli and Odell didn't have a relationship. I don't think this is something that needs a ton of work. He could have, I mean, he's a star. This is New York. He could have a, an engagement, a speaking engagement. It's very possible he has things to do, multiple OTAs.
A party boat to party on. I mean, he could have anything.
Listen, I've been critical of him, and I do think, from my sourcing, is that there are times he is still young and a little erratic. But I got to give him a pass here. I kind of feel like the Giants have issues. The Eli-Odell thing, they got that worked out. That thing is midseason now. They're fine with that.
I mean, we've known about the OTAs forever, okay? Odell Beckham's known this date was coming. You're telling me he couldn't have worked around it, Colin? I looked into his off-season. You know, I went to his Instagram account to see what he's been up to, because it's been a quiet off-season. Why don't you guys take a look at what Odell Beckham's off-season's been like, right? Okay. So he's taken helicopters, right? Flying in private jets. Oh, and look, he's hanging out with Johnny Football. And look at that, he got a Michael Jackson tattoo on his leg.
I like that.
Okay, hanging out with Nicki Minaj. Colin, he should be a leader on this team. This guy does not have a playoff win under his belt.
But you use
Is
the word.
Is it that hard to show up for OTAs?
We all use the word superstar, right?
Yes.
So in a sense, he's a rock star. He's in New York.
Yes.
And he has an offseason. And players do certain things on their offseason. Now, let's also remember the OTAs are not mandatory.
Yeah.
The coaches and the staff will like you to come so you can engage with the younger players, the rookies, be around, set an example, let them see you, and then leave. It's not unusual that veterans are not there right away. And a lot of times, depending on your contract, if you come, there is an incentive for you to show up.
Right.
Now, if you have prior engagements, and I understand when you guys bring up all these different scenarios with OBJ and some of the things he's been through, yeah, I want him there. I want him to show me that he's focused. Yeah, I want him to show me that he's ready for the season. He's ready to be a true leader to some of these younger guys. But if he's not there, we don't really know the reason he's not there, but he's not missing out on something that's mandatory where he needs to be
Colin,
there.
one thing about you saying things are fine with him and Eli. Eli has a quarterback camp at Duke University every year, every offseason. Odell wasn't there either. So, again.
Is that mandatory?
It's not mandatory, but if your quarterback, if you're trying to win the Super Bowl, you're not there?
Yeah. Colin, how many Patriots are going to skip out on OTAs? The Patriots receivers.
Okay.
Is Julio Jones missing OTAs?
I would say this, though. Gronk off-season is all over the joint.
Live it up.
So my takeaway is, in the city of New York, Odell Beckham's the biggest star. Jeter's done. He's the biggest superstar. This is a city of stars. Right. Hip-hop stars, models, financiers. I have no problem if Odell's a little loose for the 6 months he doesn't play. Like, get it out of your system. I'm okay with it. He is the rock star in American sports in the biggest, most influential city.
But all these stars you named have won something. Gronk has won something. Jeter won a lot. Odell Beckham has not won a playoff game. Can you show up?
Gronk didn't play in this Super Bowl, and frankly, in Super Bowls has not been a factor. James White's had a better Super Bowl than Gronk, and Gronk's offseason are one party boat after another.
Why are you laughing?
It's a red flag.
Yeah, you crossed the line. You just crossed the line, Colin. But what I'm saying is this. I get what you're saying. And we're basing this off his history, right? Yeah. Odell Beckham Jr., we're basing this off his history. We're basing this off his last appearance in the playoffs. Again, not focused. You go on a trip where you didn't have a bye. You go to Miami, you take a group of young people with you, receivers and Victor Cruz, whoever else, and that same group came back and did not perform at a high level when you needed them to. So we're saying it's a distraction. They said it wasn't, but the way we watched that game, it looked like, because of the media and all the questions leading up to, it was a distraction. Right now, in the month of May, OTAs not mandatory. If you miss a couple days in OTAs, that's not going to affect what happens in the season.
It won't resonate.
I'm just going to say that as a football player. It's not going to affect it. Now, when they have their mandatory camps and their mini camps, now, if he's not there and he's not doing what he's supposed to do, then that's a problem. That's a red flag for me.
Hey, welcome back. Three-time Super Bowl champ Willie McGinnis, Jason McIntyre. Let's return to the National Football League and Tom Brady, who's back in the spotlight after Giselle told CBS News Brady had an unreported concussion last season and has concussions every year. Then Brady's agent Don Yee, I know him, good dude, said the quarterback wasn't diagnosed with a concussion last year, but Brady himself hasn't said anything about his wife's comments. Whitlock, should Brady address these concussion rumors?
Should I pick up that name you just dropped first, or should I answer the question? Yeah, he's gonna have to address this, but the way I would address it is the same way he addressed the hat controversy, Make America Great hat. I would dodge. Yeah. I would dodge. The media's gonna ask him a bunch of questions that, again, it's his personal health. We don't have a right to that information.
I mean, I can remember working at my former employer, and a friend, Stephen A. Smith, got involved in something, and I remember my former employer, it was like on a Thursday, and they released like a PR thing on a Friday, and I thought, just let it die. Don't give stories legs. And in the end, this is the world we live in.
It is.
In 24 hours, there'll be something else. Why should Brady get involved? It's the off season.
I don't think so either. I agree. I think Donnie did a great job of, one, protecting Brady's wife, because your significant other, when you go home as a football player and you start to describe certain things, or you're a little beat up or you're down, they see it a little bit different, right?
More tragically.
More tragically. Yeah. And a lot of times for us, it's normal. The things that we go through, the hits that we take, the aftermath after a football game or a long year, and her interest is his health and long-term health for her husband, for her kids, like she said, to live to 100 years old. As far as Brady, as a football player, you have designated people in the stadium now that are watching for these incidents, so are watching if you're a little wobbly, if you get up slow. You have people on the sideline. The NFL has done a great job at making sure that it's not, hey, you're just dinged up, stay in the game, let's go. No, they want to preserve the health of every single player in the NFL, quarterback, lineman, fullback, whoever. And if those people that are watching the game as tight as anybody else is cannot diagnose him with something either on the sideline for the team doctors to all these other guys that have nothing to do with the team, these are separate, so they don't have any say. If that guy comes down and says, wait, take him out of the game, the team has nothing to do with that. So
I think we're learning a lot of stuff about concussions. I don't think medical people, I think it's
whiplash is a concussion.
But, Willie, my only pushback on that, again, we saw with Deflategate, if you don't address it head on, it's going to fester, it's going to linger. This is the greatest quarterback in NFL history.
What are we
with a
addressing
supermodel wife. Well, think back
what are we addressing?
Remember Peyton Manning and his wife, where the Al Jazeera report said that HGH was sent to Peyton's house.
Yes, I remember.
He came out the next day
and said he didn't know anything about it.
Exactly.
How do you not know when something's not sent to your house, to your wife?
Well, here's the thing, Willie. He came out and denied it hard.
Of course he's going to deny it because it's HGH. Wouldn't you deny it as well?
What,
of course you're
aren't as serious?
No, I'm saying, but you can't tell me if I have a concussion. Only I can let you know if I have a concussion. Or if you see me walk to the wrong sideline, or I need help getting up, or you see me down on all fours shaking my head.
I want to hold for one second, though, Willie, on your point. I want to go, because, Jason, I think you make some good points, but there's one thing. All the people watching that are supposed to be concerned about safety.
Right.
The NFL is the Godfather movie. Go to Colin's analogies, the movies. He's Marlon Brando. You pull Marlon Brando out of The Godfather, it ain't as good.
You did it. You suspended him for 4 games. You already did it. So now what are you saying to me? You pulled him out for 4 games because you suspended him. You took away the Godfather.
You know, between him and Cedric Ceballos yesterday, our show's ending really, really strong.
To Colin Kaepernick, who will have to kiss goodbye any hope of quietly finding a new job in the NFL after a Socialist City Council member in Seattle publicly endorsed him yesterday. Now an organization in New York is planning to stage a stand-up protest at NFL headquarters tomorrow to support the unemployed quarterback. The last time we saw anything approaching this kind of public frenzy was when Tim Tebow was stumbling his way into the playoffs with the Broncos. Colin, has Kaepernick hysteria reached Tebow mania level?
No.
No?
Not even close. Yeah, it's called Tebow mania. Okay.
I would agree.
Yeah. No, because remember, the Tebow thing was mostly a feel-good story. It was almost corny. It was faith-based. Tim has never sworn. Tim, the
allegedly a virgin.
Right.
Allegedly.
Okay, so anybody could participate. It was almost corny. This has some social stands. There's a racial component. A lot of people don't want to take part in controversy. Right. A lot of people in the media don't. A lot of fans don't. Like, our moms didn't grow up wanting to get... Everybody could embrace Tebow. Right. You felt good about it.
I didn't embrace Tebow, but go ahead.
But you like controversy. You dive into it. A lot of people dive away. Kaepernick's got kind of a... I don't want to get involved. I don't want to go on social media. I think Tim was the state fair. Even if you don't love it, you got involved in it. It was corny. It just worked... You know what I mean?
Why didn't you get on the Tebow train? Just
because I always thought Tebow was pious and a little bit phony, and I thought he was an attention-starved person. I was about to say something else.
I thought he was a bad quarterback.
Yeah. That's the reason why I couldn't get on board. Everything else was great. Outside of that, I don't understand why somebody who wasn't a good football player should have gotten so much attention or became a mania. Because at first you have to be good at what you do, and then you can get all that. Now, college, he was great, remarkable.
Tebow was about the fans. Kaepernick feels to me about the media.
That's a great point, Colin. It's about social media. But the thing you guys missed on Tebow, remember, he captivated an entire region at Florida.
Yes, he
2
did.
national titles,
Yes,
Heisman Trophy. I mean, he was one of the best players, in SEC football history.
Could have been the best.
So any story we posted on the site on Tim Tebow would click for 3 years. He was a machine. It's not the same deal with Kaepernick. People care on social media, but as you've said frequently, social media is kind of fake. Yeah. You know, you got the bots out there. It's not nearly as big of a story as Tim Tebow.
You guys are making great points because, again, social media isn't the real world.
Certainly.
And he is a hysteria, and Kaepernick is a hysteria in social media. But I do for the NFL, for him to have dominated so much off-season conversation, it feels like a circus to the NFL. We can't even talk about the real players because we're talking about a backup quarterback. I was joking with someone before the show. Ringling Brothers Circus, 2 days ago it ended. It ended 2 days ago. So now we have the Ringless Brothers Circus by Colin Kaepernick.
By the way,
that's cold.
It's harsh.
Man.
Think about
that's
this,
cold.
though. Think about this. Tebow had a best-selling book. That commercial, look at the attendance numbers in baseball. Tebow still attracts regular Americans. He doubles baseball attendance. He's a 92% attendance drive, and he's not even good at baseball. I think he's batting like 220.
Yeah, he's 230, but he's got a couple homers.
But I mean, I think the thing is, Tebow connected with Americans. Kaepernick riles up the media.
This is the Speak For Yourself podcast featuring the best of Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock. I am your host, Jason McIntyre. For this podcast and all FS1 podcasts, make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. And folks, even though it's negative, we do like the feedback. And if you want to say something positive, that's cool too. Hey, let me get a quick word in on Kevin Durant. Have you guys noticed that when Durant, Clay, Draymond, and Curry are healthy, start and finish a game, these Warriors haven't lost since February 4th? Kevin Durant has been otherworldly in the playoffs. There is no stopping him. And guess what? You slow him down, if by chance you can, good luck with Chef Curry. Oh, and you're going to bottle him up? Klay Thompson will still drop 30 on you in a heartbeat. Go ask the Thunder from last year. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.